I think that was the most important switch for me when I did the work with you, when you said about what we got personally from it was how to hold my space better and my energy better, and regulate my nervous system because I've got big emotions. I run really high. I'm quite impulsive, and all the work we did just helped so much.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Energy of Success. I am really excited today. At the end of 2025, I decided that I was going to bring back some guest episodes. After hitting 100 episodes, I was like, we need to hear from some more epic people that are in the world. And I've hand selected my guests for a number of reasons. They're all just beautiful humans, but they've all been able to transform themselves in a way that I just really admire, but also in a way that shows that they are actually the real deal. So the person that I've got on now is a lady called Zia Hull. She is fabulous. Zia, please just introduce yourself. Let people know who you are and what it is that you do now.
Hi, so I'm Zia, and I met Charlotte probably about 6 years ago and have been on a wild journey with Charlotte. Charlotte's always dipped in when I need her most. And I'm now really excited to share that I have started and launched my own coaching company. It's called Zia, and it's just been an absolutely fantastic adventure so far. And this is just the beginning, so very exciting.
And when Zia says I've just started, she literally has. Like she's literally just a few months in. She was in the first cohort of my high performance energetics certification, and yeah, she's absolutely run with it. But let's take the leaders back to you, like pre doing any of this. What were you doing when you first kind of came into my world, job wise, like 6 years ago? What were you doing job wise? Who were you being, and how was life like back then?
So when I very first met you, I wasn't in the best space emotionally, and I saw your website. I didn't even know much about you at all, and I had some personal coaching with you, and I loved the role I was in, but it didn't align with who I really was. But I loved helping people. I knew I had something else to give, but just wasn't quite finding my feet. And as a human being, was struggling. Always got so many emotions to give, and not sure how to channel them, whether to reveal my true self. Always felt I needed to kind of make myself a bit smaller, and um, then I met you, and that was kind of the start of everything, really. The start of like a evolution.
Yeah, like a wild ride. I
Yeah.
just want to talk to that a little bit because a lot of the listeners are in that space. And I want to talk about when you're somebody like both Zia and I are, we have big energy. We have big energy to hold. We have big emotions. We have big desires. We want to help the world. That is a big part of who we are. And we are really talented at it just naturally. We don't always embrace that. Or when we're at a place where Zia was 6 years ago, there's other stuff that stops you stepping into your greatness. And a lot of people find themselves in this place where they might feel like they are lost or stuck or stagnant and are really not sure. And they always will have the answer within them, but life has thrown different things on them. So the emotions are just all over the place, the energy's all over the place. And once we can, and now Zia can do this with her clients, once we can peel back that and get the person back on track, then anything's possible. Absolutely anything's possible. And Zia is a real piece of this. But I want to talk about like relationships with yourself, with your family, with your body, with all of those things, because when we're looking at your journey in particular, you love fitness, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely love my CrossFit. CrossFit is my true biggest passion. Absolutely get
And
so much from
and
it's
this was
sorry, Charlotte, you go.
no, go on.
I think for me, when it comes to CrossFit, that then enters all the other areas of my life as well. Like it's so It's all about bettering yourself, and there's all these measurable ways of doing that, and it's me against me. And then the bolder I get there, the more confident I feel in lots of other areas. So it kind of enhances all of the areas of my life.
And
Super,
that's what
super.
we watch play out. That's exactly it, and that's what we watch play out, and I just wanna think about the listeners. If you've got something that you're passionate about, 'cause both Zia and I are similar in that, like, we love working out, we love challenging ourselves. It's never about anybody else, it's about us, about how we can be healthier, fitter, stronger, and have more fun in the process. But there'll be something that you have in your life now that's going really well, that you wanna do more of, that actually just fuels you, and that's your answer that will unlock everything else. So, when Zia came to me all that time ago, and there was a lot of work that we were working on, like all my one-to-one clients, that's why they come. They wanna change, they wanna transform. There's always a thread that's gonna help them move through into their most expansive self, and for Zia, it was always this, relationship with exercise and then relationship with the body and all of that kind of stuff. So as we move forward, let's talk about, like, the speed that you change. Let's talk about that because I wanna talk to this. There are people that I work with that really wanna take their time with stuff, and that's absolutely fine. But there are people that I work with that are like pocket rockets, that are like, I just want it, I wanna grab it, and I wanna run with it." Let's talk about that part of you.
So I think I had two phases. I had the slow and steady when I first met you, because when I first met you, I was in a really tough spot. So like my emotional frequency was low. I couldn't really see a way out. I was like in a real tricky situation, and with like my relationship with myself and my body, and there was so many elements. And I felt like I did the initial work with you and then still stayed in the same role, and I didn't really fully fly, but things were improving. And then it was probably, well, it must be about 18 months ago, that we met again, and again still in a tricky situation, but felt more fire, that now I had to sort of change something. Like it was going to be big, and I had no idea in which direction really. Um, and then that change just came super fast. So I did some personal work with you. You then spoke about me being in your first cohort for the certification. And it was just like, right, this is the time. And the moment I started that, I've just been flying forward ever since. And I mean, to have launched the coaching companies here like in January, it's been brilliant, and it's been so exciting in such a short space of time. But it's also been so exciting to firstly dip into helping others and holding space for others. But in this last year, just doing the certification, although I'm learning to help others, the amount of stuff I found out about myself as well was like amazing, and so helpful for my family, like my close family, my lovely friendship group, like the stuff I've just opened my mind to. I think this time I was ready to go all in. Initially, them years back, I wanted it, but wasn't quite ready. Whereas now, basically, I'm so excited about the future. I don't even know what's happening anymore, but I'm here for it. So
I love, love, love. Um, I want to take people on a journey of what actually happened when Zia decided she was absolutely backing herself. So I just want to, first of all, like massively showcase Zia because she can be such a phenomenal coach because she has had her own transformation. And I think when you speak from a space where you have transformed yourself, you're just way more potent and powerful. But I want to talk to the listeners a little bit about this. So I was at an event. It was the 6th of June last year. I think it was in June last year, so 2025. I was speaking at an event, and I was going on late in the afternoon, and I was also at the same time just like connecting with people about whether they wanted to be in my cohort that was going to start in July for my first round of high performance energetic certification that was at that stage called Zest Manifestation Coaching. That's what it was like marketed at. And I had a few back and forth with Zia, and I was like, I think, I know this is going to be great. I know you're going to be epic, but it was like it was that why the company is called I Dare to Leap. I could see and still can see Zia's path, like I can with everyone that comes into my world. But Zia still had to make the leap. She had to make the leap. She had everybody behind her, but she was on this. And we went back and forth on this day on voice notes. She's like, I'm really nearly there. And I'm like, I know, it's totally up to you. Go and have the weekend. And we were all like this kind of like, just go and talk with your husband, have all this time. And we were having these back and forth. And she was like, no, I'm in. And it was just like a certain I'm in. And from that moment, and this is what I call your hell yes moment, when you have that, and people that are like Zia and I that are all in, we have to have that hell yes. Some people can have, I'm kind of in, I'm warming up, and they can still get the same transformation, but that's how their energy works. But if you are listening and you're a hell yes, please do act on your hell yeses, lest life will pass you by.
Yeah, and I
Can you
always
remember
remember.
that day?
Yeah, and I really remember as well, even earlier than that, you were like, the only way you're going to really move forward is when you step away from your current role fully. That's when you're fully going to give yourself to your new self. Whereas I was like, oh, I can't do it until I've like sorted both. And I think that same kind of month, I then left my other job or handed in my notice, and it was then everything opened and everything lifted, and I knew I could go in the direction I truly wanted to go. But it was that huge dare to leap, because it was something that I'd been doing for a long time. So into something totally unknown. But it was the absolute best thing I did. And I have always been quite bold at making big decisions or big moves. And that's what I want to hold space for people to do as well, to not feel you've just got to sit in one place, that we can just evolve and keep evolving. And you do that in bucket loads. And that's what I've always found good from you, is seeing that, oh, actually, you're changing direction when it serves you, and you move to the next thing, and that's what I'm already feeling since I've moved into all of this.
We love it.
Our
Love it.
bodies.
And the so what happened then, Zia came into what was Zest Manifestation Coaching, which in that first cohort we kind of changed the name and adapted. That's what happens when you first start coaching and you first bring out new things. You learn, you adapt as you go. And we moved it from Zest Manifestation, same content, same everything else, but into this high performance energetics and mindset, so people could buy into that in a more normal language rather than jumping into Zest Manifestation. But what actually happened in that space was everyone in that cohort are now continual students thereafter. The biggest growth is actually in themselves. Yes, they get an approved, accredited coaching qualification so they can set themselves up, but the actual biggest, deepest growth is within how they change their energetic state. 100%. The tools that they use and the way that they can move themselves through it, they get hands on, but actually the personal growth is just phenomenal. And Zia was in a cohort where the other students were all just very different. I'm sure they will all come on the podcast as well. They're all just very different stages of life, different way of being, but the actual cohort was just beautifully created. And that's what I always, always teach. People that come into your spaces are always the right people. They're either going to teach you something, they're either going to be absolutely like fire right from the word go, or you're going to watch them just like Zia and I have, and we will continue to have, watch them evolve like before your eyes. So let's talk about what you do now. Let's talk about this business that you have and who you're really talking to in this business. Who are the people that you want to send you a DM or send you an email and go, Zia, I want to talk to you? What's kind of going on in their lives?
I think for me personally, I've kind of got two areas. I've started actual small group coaching. So I remember distinctly when we did a manifestation section in the certification, and my brain instantly led me to me talking to groups of people rather than just one-to-ones. And uh, I feel like a huge passion when I'm with small groups of people and working together, getting extra strength from each other. The energy level changes, and the depth and accountability of it all is amazing. So locally to me, I do small groups called resets, and it is about that point in time where you keep maybe taking 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, and you don't dare to step into the life you truly desire. um and I want to hold space to make people feel super safe to start that transition. um I find it so exciting. To be fair, everybody I talk to in my general life does open up, and I feel like I bring that energy that helps people to be brave enough to make the next step. So if you're someone that's thinking, right, I know on the brink of change and I might have been stuck for 6 months, 2 years, whatever, but you know the energy in you wanting so much more, but you don't know how to channel it, then I want to meet you. So whether that's face to face in one of my small groups, but also I do one-to-one, so remotely, face to face. And at the moment, I'm so new. It's such a I just feel like I've got so much to offer, and I'm now almost putting all them plans into place as to how to do it. So whether that's meeting with lots of people, whether it's I just love the small groups. So setting up groups in different places. Some of them are going to be remotely, some of them will be face to face, and going from there. So if you're ready to
Love
change,
it. I love it. I'm so proud of you. Um, let's talk about energy and frequency and vibration and like you basically, let's just go a little bit manifestation for some of the listeners. What you really hold within yourself and within your cells is what you're going to project out to people. So if you're feeling like you want to change but you're not doing it, if you feel like you're on the brink but nothing's happening, if you feel like nothing quite works out for you, that's what you will get reflected back. Whereas if you go into Zia's space and you're like, hey, do you know what? I've been brave enough to just come into this space, you will automatically be elevated, because what happens in group settings, you're automatically elevated to the frequency of the highest person in the room. So when I did my cohorts, every single person is like, what the hell's happening? But they're already elevated to the frequency of me. My frequency is pretty wild. It just goes higher and higher. And so when you come into a space with Zia, even though right at the beginning you may feel like you are not sure where you're going or what the path is, Zia will automatically, without even saying anything, vibrate you higher to a higher frequency. And what that means is you then expand yourself and you open up to what I call now the field of possibilities, where you're like, oh my goodness, it can be different. Oh my goodness, I can try this. And Zia has this infectious ability to show people the possibilities and then guide them and hold them to be able to make those steps. So how do you now, Zia, maintain your frequency? I know we both have families that can challenge the frequency. That is life. We have things happen that will knock you off course or stretch you. What are your like go-tos to stay in this high vibe, especially as you grow in a business, to be able to be your best possible self when you show up for those that are going to come and work with you?
I think that was the most important switch for me when I did the work with you on the certification. And, when you said about what we got personally from it was how to hold myself, hold my space better and my energy better, and regulate my nervous system. Because, like you said earlier, I've got big emotions. I run really high. I'm quite impulsive. And all the work we did just helped so much that now I feel like I actually taught myself a little bit to wait a moment. So still absolutely move forward with intention, but just to let myself sit and listen to what my body's actually saying rather than just being yes, 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 and then not being able to do all these things I've said yes to, and actually not wanting to do the things I've said yes to as well. So, as you said before, I've got two like preteen girls who are in the midst of lots of exciting transitions that can be definitely challenging. And I know that for me to stay regulated is absolutely essential. So, for me, it is doing lots of breath work, which I never really thought would be my thing at all, but having practiced, found the way that works for me, it can't not regulate you. So it's been absolutely massive. And then really using the things that bring me joy. So, and that is going to then regulate me. So being outside, going for a dog walk, outside space, and that's like my quiet time, when you can like hear nature and really feel and smell and be around outside spaces. And then also my CrossFit, so exercise for me releases huge amounts of endorphins and relaxes my nervous system, so that has to take priority. And that's one thing I think some people worry about, coming across selfish when they do these things to regulate themselves. But actually, I give so much more to my family and my friends and my whole existence when I take the time to regulate myself and just take that time for me. It's so, so important. And that can look so different for everybody. What regulates you might not regulate me. We're all very different beings, but it's essential that I do them things now. And it works. It really works.
So let's just round up with the energy of success. So now that you're like flying, like I always saw, I love it when my whole visions come to life. I told you this years ago. You'll be doing something different. Um, what's the energy of success? What do you want to see happen? What's the vision that you have now, and how do you want to feel within it?
I think my term of like energy of success is about constant evolution of who you are and allowing that to happen. And that's something I've seen in abundance in you. And now I dare to do it and hope that I can show that for others and for my children and everyone around. Um, because I think you can get stuck in a certain situation for too long and it's not serving you, but you worry about the rest of the world's opinions and everything else. But actually, we thrive most when we are evolving. The person I was at 22 is totally different to the 33 and now the 43-year-old version. If I'd have stayed in them same situations, I wouldn't be happy. Um, Move with the times, to dare to lead, dare to move forward, because I think us evolving at all times is essential for our growth. And that's what I want to hold space for people to do, to grow and to dare to make them steps forward and hold that space, so that when they get to that bit, like you've held space for me so many times, when I'm like, oh, I'm going to start going back, you're just like, actually, no, like, what's the next step? That's what I want to be for someone else. That's what my passion is.
Love it. And that's what you already are for so many people, so many people. And just like on the science of what Zia's just said, we are like 99% energetic beings. There's just human gets a little bit in the way. But we are meant to move. Energy is meant to move. We're not meant to be stationary. So growth is always movement. And like Zia says, when Zia met me, I was what I would call a standard transformational mindset coach. I was doing hypnosis. I was doing standard coaching. That's when she first met me. That's when I was starting out. She was one of my first clients when I hired a clinic before lockdown. Now I'm like working with people all over the world, and some people were going right into their spiritual guides and everything like that. We go all sorts of places, and that's just one aspect of growth. And I think it's really important. So many people that I see, are scared of this. They're really scared of it because they're so conditioned as to what feels safe in what they do now. But when you reframe and realize that nothing's guaranteed, if you're in a job, it's not really guaranteed. You could lose it next month. Who do you really want to be in this lifetime? And are you being that person? And if not, then message Zia because she'll be able to help you.
I'm so excited. Honestly, the visions I get now of like, there's nothing that I don't dare try or contact people or because I know it's all coming, but I don't quite know exactly where it's going to go. But I'm super excited. Very
Yeah.
excited.
And that is the vibration that everybody listening to this, leave on that vibration, the energy of expectation. The excitement will get you there faster. It'll collapse time. So definitely hold on to that. Thank you so much. We can carry on and on and on, but we've already done 25 minutes. I think we can we better stop there. Thank you so much. Underneath the episode will be all of the ways that you can contact Zia if you've listened and thought, oh my goodness, I've got to get in her space. I've got to message her. I've got to have a chat with her. Then please do reach out if she is somebody that you know is going to help you move yourself forward from wherever you are in your life. Thank you so much.